You guys ever had your vape peed in by a turtle?
Over the next 4 days, I'm about to take you on a 150-mile rugged adventure through some of the most remote parts of the Appalachian Mountains. With sweeping panoramas, untamed big game, waterfalls, and caves, we will be traveling across this vast expanse in an unknown, untested Gooseneck prototype trailer fresh out of the garage. There will be missteps, there will be failures, but I guarantee you adventure. Come along with us on this 4-day Onyx rugged adventure. If you would like to experience our journey for yourself, or even just follow our route digitally, our entire route, along with pit stops, camping areas, overlooks, and destinations, will be available as a digital download via a link in the comments and description of this video. This video is brought to you by Onyx Off-Road.
That about the most redneck thing you ever seen, boy, I tell you what.
If he was a snake, he would have bit me. That right there is a black snake. Pretty harmless, but they can be aggressive and defend their territory, so...
Don't kill those, they're good to have around.
He's a good snake. Good thing I didn't decide to pee right there.
Yeah.
Oh, there he goes. Alright guys, so this is trail 22 at Windrock. It is a fairly easy beginner trail, but sometimes it gets pretty rough and they have to come in here and clear it out. It's a rated blue, so you got green, blue, black, and then double black. So this is a blue rated trail. That's probably the hardest section right there, although Josh says there's a mud hole up here that swallowed him last time he was in the jalopy.
Yeah.
On the 33 fan ride, and that's coming up, so we'll see what's up there.
They've probably paved it under or plowed it under by now. It's usually not there. It just appeared out of nowhere, but
let's hope so. I wouldn't recommend bringing a trailer on any of these trails that we're about to do on this adventure, but we're gonna see what happens. This is a special trailer.
It's a Trail 15 trailer?
It's a silly goose. Alright guys, so we started at the Windrock General Store, and Trail 22 was our trial by fire for this new trailer that we've got going on here. So now we're going to run over here and hit Trail 83, which will take us a little further up in elevation, and then we're going to cut across to the overlook. Alright guys, we need to discuss something. At this point we're 6 miles into our 150-mile Onyx 4-day rugged adventure, 30 miles from our first campsite. We've got some issues with the trailer and we need to discuss what to do next. So first we're going to go check out the views of Trail 83, and then we're going to have to make some decisions. So this Trail 83 is one of my favorite scenic trails at Windrock. You can see on one side we've got bluffs all the way down. On the other side, in the wintertime, you have really spectacular views over here. Also in the wintertime, there's huge icicles that come down, And today we'll see a little waterfalls coming off the side of these bluffs up here, but just a really neat scenic trail. Nothing really hard up here, but really fun one. There's also a little mine over there that you can peek into, which is really cool. They used to mine coal up here, so all this area up here is coal mining, forestation, and gas and oil.
This trail and trail 82, which is a black trail, it's got one hard spot on it, but it's not too bad. It does a loop around the top of this mountain. This is about the highest elevation that you get in Windrock. It is pretty, like Matt said, though. Going on. The springs are settling. We've got a lot of crap in there too. See how this rock separated? Broke off right there. That just happened in the past year or so. So we're going to continue on, but we have two problems facing us right now. That is, one random issue is just my Comanche's fuel pump is going out. You can tell because it sounds really bad and it's pulling a lot of current from the battery. But even more concerning is our trailer. We set this up dry with nothing in it, and the leaf springs were brand new. And just in the, I don't know, 15 miles that we've gone so far, the leaf springs are breaking in. We did set it up so that we had adjustability to adjust them out, but the problem is we're already on our last adjuster, so we're gonna have to go back, do a little bit of welding, get that thing lifted back up. You can see how it's squatted so much already, and continue our journey. Our next stop is gonna be up at the overlook, but there's gonna be a quick intermission. That's not good. No.
Look at the tire. It's starting to eat the tire.
This thing was so tall. Like, it came down.
It probably dropped 4 inches.
Or more, yeah.
Since we started.
Yeah. That's just about touching.
Remember how we used to have to jump up in here? Okay.
Yeah.
Now.
Wait, open that.
You used to have to jump.
I had to jump to reach this. It looks kind of cool from the back.
I think we just overpacked. So we've got all of our stuff in there, rooftop tent. We got 6 gallons of fuel, 10 gallons of water, even more gallons of Dr. Pepper and Gatorade and
Mountain Dew,
all kinds of stuff in there.
Water.
Tools. There's just a lot of weight. I don't think we properly accounted for that much weight when we set this thing up.
So we did test it. I mean, we tested it. We had 2 or 3 5-gallon buckets of water and a bunch of batteries and stuff in there, but springs are gonna spring.
We threw a couple things up there on the truck, and look at the difference that it already made. Lifted it about 2 inches just taking those things out. So we're gonna have to be right back.
we are back at Josh's house. He lives not too far from the start of where we're doing all of this, and we decided we're going to go ahead and take care of business here before continuing on our way. So I'm just doing a little fender trimming right there, and the lunch lady, my wife Hope, she actually is going to bring us an alternator. I have a spare alternator at the house, just didn't bring it with me, so she's going to meet us over here with that. I think it's the alternator and not the fuel pump, but we also have a spare fuel pump which Josh had in his Jeep, and we're going to carry that with us but replace the alternator because I think that may be the issue. Look, it's Hope. She saved the day.
I do that.
She brought us an alternator, which we have right here, and she brought us some metal pieces so that we could make some more shackle mounts. And then Joshua just got back from the parts store for an alternator for this thing, because we also noticed that this cheap chrome alternator was squealing already, and we just put it on. When did we put that on? 2 days ago?
Yeah.
Okay, so check this out. There's our old hanger, so we're gonna say goodbye to that. And now we've made some new hangers, and these are gonna go right about there, I think. What that's gonna do is open up more options. So we had 3 options here, we ran out of options. So now we're adding 3 more options. We'll have 6 options total, and that's basically based on weight and how old and worn out the leaf springs are. What's the word on chrome alternators?
That one's no good. I mean,
Oh, that sounds toasty.
it feels toasty. It's still too hot to hold.
It's been a couple hours and that thing is still toasty and crunchy. Oh yeah.
The lady at Advance said, "Just curious, what's this going on?" I said, "Well,"
Did you tell her?
I said, "We have a rock crawler." She said, "Okay, that's cool." I said, "But wait." We cut a Jeep Cherokee in half and used the back half of it and made a gooseneck trailer for the rock crawler. She said, "Okay." I said, "We turned the axle pinion facing upwards," and she nodded her head, "Yeah." And I said, "We put an alternator on the rear axle to run it off the pinion to charge the battery." She said, "Okay, creative."
I wonder if she
understood what I was
you were
saying.
talking about. She's just like, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah. Okay, check that out. That's not ideal because it's straight up and down, but I have a feeling once we put the weight back in there and once this thing bounces a few more times, it's probably going to settle into a 45. If not, we've got another hole here we can go to, or we can drill another hole through here. Well, that was fun. I guess it wouldn't be BleepinJeep without a couple of BleepinJeeps. We still have 4 hours of daylight left though, and it looks like a storm is rolling in. We're gonna have to maybe find a new camp spot tonight because we were delayed for a couple of hours there. But we will press on and see what happens. Let's hope we don't get blown away. And maybe I'll stay inside for a minute before we head out. Guys, we're headed back up the mountain. One of the main reasons I wanted to take 22 was to avoid having to climb this hill because it's just very steep, very fast, very low. We're gonna spend about 2.5 gallons of fuel just getting up to the top. This trailer's really heavy at this point, so gonna overheat half the way up the hill too. Yeah. We'll see you in an hour when we get to the top. I don't think your air scoop is working. I can feel it. You might not be able to, but it feels good to me. We're taking a little cool-off break right here by Trail 15, the infamous Trail 15. I bet you guys are wanting us to take the trailer up there. I told Josh, I said, we should have just taken a 4-day adventure up Trail 15 and camped along the way. We'll get there one day. Once we get finished with our overland trip, we're gonna bring that trailer back and do Trail 15. Although I want to unload some of the stuff out of it before we do that. It's got a lot of expensive stuff in there. Man, I was gonna get some super awesome drone shots for you guys for this trip. We had a little boo-boo right out of the gate there. It seems like that's the way this trip is going so far. We'll see if we can JB weld that tonight, if we can get to our camp destination. But this is our first overlook destination. They call this the Overlook. You'll know you're there when you see this big rock with an American flag on it. Somebody installed that about a year ago. That's when that showed up. Right now, we are overlooking Oliver Springs and Oak Ridge on this side. Knoxville is out that way. And then on this side, there's absolutely nothing out there. It's just a big old valley. So super neat area to come up and just have lunch or whatever you like. Take in the views, see the sights.
Alright guys, we're going to head back down to G1, try to make some quick work of the next 11 miles on our way to the next destination, which is Panther Rock. The trailer is doing awesome at this point, although we've got a little straggler underneath, as you might can see right there. Otherwise, it's doing awesome. It's a little bit high, a little bit tippy after our modifications, but it is performing very well and not scrubbing the tires anymore.
Watch this mud hole right here. It gets pretty deep. There is a bypass over there, but It gets kind of weird coming down off the side of it too. Looks like he's taking the bypass. Yeah, this is deep. That's deep.
Purdy.
Uh-oh. That's not great. Come on, baby, fall in there. There we go.
I thought for sure that was going over.
It was getting tippy.
I just looked in the rear view and I was like, oh, what's the trailer doing up there? I kind of took the inside line.
It likes to do that.
All right, we're close. I'm not real impressed with it yet because we built it, so I know it's capable, but imagine trying to take just a regular trailer up through something like that. You know what I mean? Like, it wouldn't happen.
Gotta hook your car trailer up behind it and see how it does. Dang it. Well.
So I wasn't paying attention. That's what happens. We got lucky that no windows broke.
Yeah.
Got lucky that we didn't even break the tail light. Well, it's kind of loose now. That was already cracked right there. Alright, I'm gonna have to swing wide there, which I already am, and then I'm gonna have to try to, if it starts to climb a bank, just let me know early so that I can still back out of it.
Alright.
Yell like, woo! Woo! Like that.
Okay.
Okay? So the trailer does great. You know, it's probably from what I said over there that it was doing awesome. Imagine trying to take just a regular trailer
up through something like that.
Yeah, the trailer does great, but these off-camber V-notches, like, what do you call these? Like ruts?
Washouts.
Washouts. That's the trick. Slide on down this. Something's bound up, don't do that anymore. I'm gonna help. Go slow. If it falls, don't get under it. I'm gonna take a look at our best options here. I'm having to drive like the truck in the wrong spot to get the trailer in the right spot. And then these ruts are getting even worse. It's hard to see.
I think this will be that bad.
Trying to get out of it would be pretty difficult. It just depends on if it tries to drive up the side. Yeah, this one's gonna suck. If I can drive straight down the middle, but if it slips down in there, it's gonna slam against that tree. Don't wanna go down in there. Okay, we're gonna try something crazy. See if it works. Josh, there's a bunch of people out there saying right now that we should have just added rear steer to the trailer.
Yeah.
And those guys are right, but that's going to be a future improvement. Because we need to go on this adventure right now. Right now. We just had adventure in our bone, and we just couldn't put it off any longer. Steering a trailer, coming to a trailer near you. But for right now, we got to just make do with what we have. And what we have is a winch, and a snatch block, and a bunch of trees in the way. I think if we hook that to the bottom, it would pull it over, don't you think?
No, because it's just going to slide up that bar.
If we wreck it, it's your fault. Okay, that's the tree right there that we're trying to get past. Josh, look what's up ahead. More trees, more trees.
Ridiculous.
Look at that, guys. This was our destination, and we have arrived. What you're looking at right here is called Panther Rock. It's this big rock right here that you can walk out on, and on the other side of this, it's hard to tell from here, but there's about 100-foot drop, and you can see into this valley over here.
Are there panthers up here?
You know, I've tried to figure out why they called this Panther Rock, and I think maybe somebody saw a mountain lion out here one time or something. But I
Need to do the Lion King thing.
maybe that's it. I don't really know exactly why they call it Panther Rock. But check this out. That right there is the top of a really tall tree. If it wasn't so hazy, you'd be able to see the Smoky Mountains off in the distance. But there's this beautiful gorge right here. We actually just drove We came and we drove around there, and we drove all the way along there, and then all the way out there, and then down to here. There's all these cool little bowls and stuff here where water collects. You can actually climb through the rock on this side, and it comes down at the base down there. Get in the hole, Josh. We'll see you on the other side.
This gets narrower now, remember.
Well, you're certainly not fatter. There he is. And then it keeps on going down the edge there until you get to the bottom. Beautiful, beautiful place out here. This trail is actually one of the Jeep Badge of Honor trails. I think there's 3 of them here at Windrock. So 51, 16, and 26, if I remember correctly. We should sign up for our Badge of Honor, I guess, huh? Now this is the part where I would actually show you a really awesome drone image. Droney, Tony image kind of going up, and everything's all awesome, and we're waving at the camera. But my drone broke. So you're just gonna have to look at this Onyx Off-Road 3D map rendering instead. You see me down there waving? This is where the panthers would give their babies baths, right there in this hole. They told me so.
Hey, bleep holes. Stop throwing your bleeping trash off of the rock. It's like a stupid dumping ground over there. It's you side by side, guys. 100%.
Always the side-by-side, guys. There's actually a bicycle in the tree over here too. Need to come up and have a cleanup day one day.
It's terrible. It's just beer cans. Beer cans everywhere.
Well, this is a great place to have lunch, but don't leave your trash down there. You hear that water? There's a lot of water flowing down in there. Okay, stand up there and jump up and down like to scare all the people with height fears.
I'm too out of breath right now.
Okay, I've got one more thing to show you guys, and Josh, too, for the first time, has never seen this.
It must be farther out around because I didn't see it coming up that side.
One of the guys on our 33-inch fan ride actually found this. I had never known it was here, and I've been coming for years. But there is a cave over here. If you go down the second trail over here, man, look at that trailer. Isn't that a beautiful trailer?
Sexy.
No, keep going.
There you go.
So there's a cave here that's kind of small.
Did you go back in it?
No, but you can check it out down there. There's a bear that lives down there, so watch out.
It's not very big.
But that's not.
If it is, it gets smaller. There's a lot of spiders.
That's not the one. Go down this trail further. Didn't you come up through here?
No. It's on the other side of this rock. Spelunking.
This is the one I was talking about.
Oh, that.
Make sure you get all that bat poop on your hands. Look at that rock. It's just waiting to kill somebody.
There's a big spider on it.
That's a cave cricket.
Oh, it feels great in here. This is camp here.
It's wet. You'd be soaking by the morning. Your lungs would be all nasty.
It'd be nice and cool though.
rocks are cool.
Anything else over there?
Just the shelf.
That's the sleeping shelf right there.
Yeah. It'd work.
feel like we're back in elementary school on the Oregon Trail, or in the 1700s, 1800s. For me, I was on the Oregon Trail in elementary school. How about you?
I don't know what I was doing in elementary school, but I'm pretty sure I wasn't on the Oregon Trail.
What?
Oh, you mean on the computer?
On the Apple computer that we all had in elementary school.
Yeah.
So, if you're not four-wheeling with a gooseneck trailer, or some sort of trailer, you're doing it all wrong.
I don't know.
It makes it feel even more like we're on the Oregon Trail. This is my horse. This is my buggy.
It's my trusty steed.
Watch out, that's all gonna probably fall out of there. No, it's good.
Never gonna.
Good luck getting that. Oh, look at that view. It is beautiful. All right, next up, guys, we are going to try to get to our next overlook before sunset. Right after that is where we're going to camp, because you can't camp on Windrock property. So if you find yourself in this predicament and the sun's going down, go ahead and make your way down the mountain and find a camp spot. There's one towards the general store. There's also a bunch in the surrounding areas, Airbnbs and entrepreneurs who have opened their own campgrounds. So find one of those. Otherwise, we're going to try to get to our next spot and then head out of Windrock property to TWRA land, which is where we are allowed to camp if you have the appropriate passes. This light cracked a little bit
See that?
on the mount. Not the light itself, but the mount. You're out of breath.
There's a lot of uphill.
I thought he found another snack. Hey, dude.
Kiss, kiss.
No, not happening. Salmonella. Salmonella. Oh, he wants to bite me.
You want to go back down? I moved the car out of the backyard the other day, and I ran over one exactly like this, same size and everything.
So now you get to save one?
Now I get to save one. He was still alive, but there was I pushed him clear down into the... Oh, you hole.
Oh, guess what that landed? It went right into the mouth of your vape.
What the... You guys ever had your vape peed in by a turtle? Has that happened before in history?
Josh is gonna get salmonella before this trip is through.
I think I need to wash this before I use it again.
Josh, we're burning daylight. Burning daylight.
I'm about to kill that turtle. Turtle soup for dinner. Try to show you guys something cool and just get peed on.
That's what you get for vaping. All right, we are getting close to the flats, but we want to check out and see how much fuel we've got left in here. Oh yeah, we got lots. Why is that one leaking? Oh, the neck's not on there. Maybe it was tightened down, but oh, there goes the O-ring.
Breather didn't tighten all that great either. How come there's an issue with every single gas can? You can't get one that's just good.
Somebody needs to invent the perfect gas can. I mean, they would sell like hotcakes. Imagine.
None of
Didn't
those
leak.
stupid safety spouts. We're not children. We know how to pour gas.
But you gotta be safe, Josh, when you're pouring the gas. That's why it's called gas. Because you'll blow your ass up. Set this up on here and then open the vent. There you go.
Darwin.
All these safety features are messing up evolution anyway, huh?
Yeah. Control the population the correct way.
So if everything goes according to plan, we should get there before sunset. We've got probably an hour left, so crossing our fingers that we don't flip this thing over again. There's a nasty, pretty steep climb coming up here soon. So as the day was winding down and we were closing in on the flats, we were looking at 32 miles so far of completely off-road since we left the parking lot at Windrock. Now this last little bit wasn't very difficult, but it was slow going. When you have rocks the size of baseballs and basketballs, it's not difficult, but it does make for slow progress. The Caravel Flats is a beautiful flat spot way up high with an overlook of the town of Caravel on one side and into the abyss of Windrock on the other. It's got a beautiful sunset location and a bunch of elk if you can spot them at the right time. We were pushing hard to try and make it there before sunset, and we got there just in time.
This is the easy way up onto the flats. Flats are right over there. Back down that way at the bottom, there's a hill climb. There's a couple of hill climbs that'll take you straight up onto the flats, but they're not easy hill climbs. So this way goes around. That's a little shortcut up through. Oh yeah. Welcome to Caribou Flats.
This is elk country. So as you're coming up through the grasses up here, keep an eye out for elk.
There's lots of them up here. Lots of them.
Lots of elk. They're hard to spot though. They're really shy. They like to sneak off in the grass and lay down, so you got to keep your eye out for the horns sticking up. But they're all up here, and we'll see some more. We'll probably see some before the trip's over for sure. Let's go to the overlook here. Giddy up! I'm ready.
How about that view? If you want to know why should I bother coming up to Caribou Flats, it's a long drive. Why should I come up here? This right here. This is why you come up here.
And if you're interested in really, really hardcore trails, the hardest of the hard is coming up right through there.
We have to finish a video yet that we started about a year ago of coming up the trail, 71B, 81, 91B, what is it?
I think it's 71B. I think you're right.
We did about 2/3 of it, and we had to call it because it was getting dark. And it's a half a mile long trail, something like that. 3/4 of a mile.
The military helicopter is coming to get you.
They heard about this thing, and they wanted to see it for themselves.
They wanted to come see the goose.
Filming you, filming me. Come set that thing down over here.
Oh, that would be so cool.
That would be awesome.
Can we go drive over by them?
We could. Go check them out.
We're gonna go try to meet some military personnel. Some guy in the comments said, "Great job putting the gas cans right where they're gonna get covered in mud." Oh no, I got my gas cans dirty. Oh no, what am I gonna do? That's funny. I was gonna take some really cool pictures, but now the whole thing's covered in mud. Josh is covered in mud too, he's taking a bath. But I think that'll make a killer photo right there.
That may or may not look it on camera, but that's really steep. It just drops off there. Hey Matt. What? Elk. That's a really big deer or a baby elk. That's an elk. Right down there. You can see him right above my finger there. Sun's starting to get real pretty. It's turning pink. Orange, pink. Matt's down there doing fancy things with his fancy camera. You guys probably didn't know. You may have, but you probably didn't know. That's before he was a famous YouTuber. He was a photographer. So, kind of worked out all right. Also means he gets really picky when he's taking pictures out here doing this stuff. Can you see his ears? Or his horns? I'm dead serious. He's just right over the crest of that. He's looking right at me. Oh, there's another one on down there. Yeah, he was about 20 feet from you.
That's why I was asking you, was that you? Because I could hear something stomping.
No, that was me. I threw a rock.
You probably hit him. Scared the crap out of me. I think he was hiding in the bushes and started stomping when I was getting too close to him. He was probably already bedded down for the night. I was right there, and he was like right there.
Yeah, he was about 20 feet from you.
Sorry, dude. That's why I was asking you, was that you? Because I could hear something stomping.
No, that was me. I threw a rock.
You probably hit him. Poor guy is just taking a nap under the tree.
I should clarify that Josh threw a rock from up above into the grass, just trying to startle me while I was taking a photo, not knowing that there was anything living down in the grass. And apparently, that startled this elk, who immediately got up and said, "What the heck, man?"
Sorry, dude. Didn't mean to wake you up from your slumber.
I know this looks flat to you guys, but this is steep.
Frogs are coming out. Can you hear them? They're very hard to find. They're little tiny frogs.
I never was able to fix my drone during this trip, but the next week I told Hope to pack her bags because I wanted to take her on the same journey, and I wanted to bring my drone along this time to showcase to you guys some of the things that you couldn't see from the ground, some of the things that didn't come across on camera, some of these views you can't just see through the television until you get a bird's eye view. We took a couple days and were able to retrace our footsteps and give you guys this awesome footage.
We came, we conquered this part of our adventure. Right now we're going to go find our campsite for the night, and then we're going to continue on in the morning. We have a long way ahead of us. We are still only a very small portion of this trip into our trip. So just a few miles up the way here is TWRA land, so we're going to buy our passes, and it's almost like a hunting permit, 035 and a 036, I think, annual or daily. So I think it's about $15 a day per vehicle, so that's pretty cool. All right, let's go see if we can make some dinner. You guys hungry? Just FYI, this is also bear territory, Josh, so where should we keep the bear spray that we can both get to it quickly?
You can use the spray. I'm gonna use something else.
What are you gonna use? You can't use that when it's buried in your bag.
That's true. His name's Comanche.
But there is an elk 15 feet away.
Probably hear him. Hey, what about my big lights? How about that? Does that help?
If he would back up a few feet, that'd be great. Will you back up a little bit, buddy? He's just eating. Need the flashlight. There he is.
We're in bear country, boys! That is a ginormous poop from a ginormous bear.
I really wanted to do that before we left.
Oh, welcome, it's the lunch lady. I am the lunch lady today. You guys might have thought we were joking around with our camper here, and we were. But we're not joking around when it comes to overlanding. We have a rooftop tent, of course. We've got a table, we've got cooking gear, we've got food. But the cream de la creme, you know what they say, but do you have the kitchen sink? And yes, we have the kitchen sink. Not only that, but we have running water. And check this out. You want to drain the sink? We have a sink drain. We have a sink stopper. We've got, this doubles as a shower. We've got extra backup shower right here in case you want to take 2 showers at the same time, maybe. I really want to show you all this stuff in the daylight though. So we're gonna cook our steaks, eat, sit by the campfire, and enjoy our night. And one of these evenings, hopefully we'll make it to the campsite before dark and we can show you all of our overlandy things.